Hello, I'm Tony Lankford, and welcome to Monologue. Monologue is a TV series that focuses on actors expressing themselves. Stay tuned.
What's it like? It's like you turn around and you're all grown up. That one bit of news and you become this insta-adult. He never deserved what happened to him. He didn't sleep around and he never did drugs. The only thing he might have done was to be a hemophiliac, and clearly that wasn't his fault. It's just, he had such a bright future, you know? I mean, he was a shining star on the stage. He could take any character and really bring it to life. It was as if he actually became the person saying those words. I mean, he even got into Juilliard, and they only take the best of the best, right? He was the best. He had the most beautiful hands, too. Some people have a thing for eyes. I guess I like hands. Remember, we used to go out on a clear night. There was a field by my house, and we'd go and lay and just look at the stars. He'd hold me close, his hands running through my hair, touching my cheek. Sounds so stupid now, but we used to try to count stars. And they go on forever, right? So we decided that we would too. Right. Anyway, we found out when he went in for his before-college physical. I remember he was wearing the navy blue cable knit sweater I'd gotten him for his 16th birthday. They said it was tainted blood he'd been given as a child during one of his bleeding episodes. He told me, and I started to cry. He was the one sick, and I'm the one sobbing hysterically, and he's comforting me. He was always so strong from the outsider's perspective. He was scared, though. He told me once. Only once. Anyway, he was better after that. He was healthy and active, though not at Juilliard, of course. And then one day, he had another bleeding episode. They rushed into the hospital, and he broke down when he had to tell the technician to double up on her gloves because he had AIDS. He didn't get better after that. He was in the hospital for 6 months. 3 days after his 20th birthday, he died. And I nearly died with him. It wasn't until recently that I could even look at the stars without completely breaking down. It was like that bright star in my life had been slowly fading and finally burned out. I just keep telling myself one day I'll turn around and he'll be there again, beside me. Someday.
I was meeting Mikey up on Lehigh last Tuesday. And so I was walking down the street and I get like 100 yards and I see him talking to these two thugs and they look like they're arguing. So I start walking faster and I yell his name. I say, Mikey. As soon as he turns around, one of them pops him in his mouth. They both start wailing on him. So I start running. I check. They start splitting like little bitches. And so I check Mikey, make sure he's all right. He told me to run after him. So I start running. One crosses Lehigh. The other one ducks into an alley, so I follow him. And I had my piece. I had just gotten from Rocco's 2 days earlier. So I pulled it out, and I'm running. Just running as fast as I can. And next thing you know, I'm flat on the ground. Motherfucker hid behind a garbage can and tripped me. So I turn around. I see him reaching for his. I pulled out my pistol, man. I just let off 3 shots in a flash. Bang, bang. I didn't even hear the third one. I hit 2 in his chest, 1 in his stomach. There's fucking blood everywhere, man. As soon as I hit him, it's like everything went in slow motion. I almost blacked out. I never felt like that in my life, man. And as soon as he hit the ground and I came to, I just got up, I started running. I started running to my mom's house. All I kept thinking was, you gotta get rid of this gun, man. You gotta get rid of this gun. So I cleaned it off with my shirt. Before I went into the house, I threw it under the dumpster. And I went in and I talked to Mike. He said it was 2 of Finch's crew. He said it'd be a good sign just to show him we're not fucking around. They were messing with him for slinging on their turf or some bullshit. And that's when it dawned on me, man. This is war. When you see somebody you don't know and they try to kill you and you kill them, that's war. You know, that's the first time I ever smoked anybody. I don't think anybody knows that. And it just keeps fucking with me, man. I just keep thinking back. I don't even know if he was reaching for a gun or if I was just bugging and I just shot him. I don't even care, man. I did what I had to do. But I'll tell you what, if this is what it feels like when you kill somebody, I don't want to ever have to do that shit again.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
This land has been in our family for over 40 years. My sisters May, June, and I have made good lives for ourselves in the hunting business. It was May who got us to paint the house pink a while back. It makes a statement of its own, I guess. We're pretty lucky in a world that's gone crazy. Who we got here?
I'm Lily, and this is Rosalind. We need a place to stay. You see, my mother died when I was little, and my daddy just got killed in the tracks on our farm. We're on our way to Virginia, so I don't have money for a train ticket or a motel, and not that anyone would take in a Negro woman, even though it's a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
You know she's in some kind of trouble. Well, who's gonna take them in if we don't? So what if that trouble follows them?
I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I really do. I just need some time to figure out why, so don't say anything.
Your secret. Lily! You do what you want with it.
All right, this one's dedicated to all my honeys. Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your loving. Baby, I need your loving.
They're so cultured. I never met women like them before.
It's like he's got his own spot in the world, but the outside don't come in.
Keep it down. I'm practicing.
This is Lily. She's staying with Miss August.
You staying in her house?
Yes, ma'am.
You tell me where you are right now, you hear me? What I don't understand is, what are you doing staying with the boat rides?
You're wasting time. You know who took him.
I brought the outside in here.
Lily, that wasn't your fault.
Yes, it was. I'm unlovable.
You listen to me now. There's love all around you.
Say it's alright. It's alright. Say it's alright. It's alright.
I love you, Miss Rosaline.
June boat right? Will you marry me?
Whoa, it's alright.
Don't ever be afraid. We are enough.
'Cause it's alright. Whoa, it's alright.
What do you mean you didn't sign that damn restraining order? I don't quite understand this. You see, because what you don't understand is that restraining order protects you for the rest of your life from him ever coming after you. I mean, I'm so tired of listening to these victims of domestic violence where they say, like, but I love him and I don't want to hurt him. Well, what the hell has he done to you? Do you call that love? Because the way I see it as a cop, I call it obsession. And if this is what your definition is of love, then you need to find a better definition, pull yourself together, and get the hell out of the situation before it gets worse. You see, because the next time I have to come to this police station, and I'm talking as your sister, not as a cop, I may end up identifying you in a city morgue with a toe tag that says Jane Doe. Is that what you want? It really, is that what you want? Because again, like I said, this is obsession, and I see it time and time and time again. And people like you will never learn until it's too late. And then what do you have to go back to? Nothing. Do you actually think he's going to change? Because I don't. None of them change. He needs help, you need help, everybody needs help. You know, as your sister, and I'm talking to you solely as your sister, from the time you were little, I did everything to protect you. And now that you're grown and you're older, I can't protect you anymore. I've given you the tools. I've done everything that I could. I've even given you support in the worst case scenarios. But what have you done? You keep reverting back to the same old ways. And I can't deal with that anymore. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Sarah, but the way I see it, if you can't do this for yourself by signing that restraining order, you need to do it for me. Because as your sister, I can't help you this time. But as a detective, I'm not going to lose my job over this. Because I'll hunt the son of a bitch down myself, and I'll get him.
Listen, I agree with Dimitri also. The world is filled with kitchens. And when it's filled with kitchens, you get pigs, I'll tell you. Next door to me, next door I live is this bus driver. He comes from Hoxton, he's my age, he's married, he's got 2 kids. He says good morning to me, I ask him how his children is. That's our relationship. You know, somehow he seems frightened to say too much, you know? It's like, God forbid I might ask him for something. So we make no demands on each other. And then one day the busmen go on strike. He's out for 5 weeks. Every morning I kept saying, keep going, buddy, you'll win. Every morning I give him words of encouragement. I tell him I understand his calls. I've got to get up a little bit earlier to get to work, but I don't mind. We're neighbors. We're workers together. He's pleased. I give him money for the strike fund. I could see he's pleased. Then one Sunday there's this peace march. I don't believe they do much good, but I go because in this world a man's got to show he can still say his piece, right? So the next morning, get this, he comes up to me and he says, did you go on that peace march yesterday, Paul? I said, yes, I did go on that peace march yesterday. So he turns to me and he says, you know what? A bomb should have been dropped on the lot of them. He said, it's a pity that there was children there because a bomb should have been dropped on the lot. And you know what's upsetting him? The march was holding up traffic. Buses couldn't move so fast. Now, I don't want him to say that I'm right. I don't even want him to agree with what I did. But what makes me so sick was terror. This man doesn't have to think that this man helped me in my cause. So maybe, just maybe there's something in his cause I'll talk about. No buses were held up, so drop a bomb. And you should have seen the hate in his eyes, like I'd murdered his child or something. And the horror is this. There's a wall, a big wall between me and millions of people like him. And I keep thinking, where will it end?
Joe, I want to talk to you. I don't want you to say anything, I just want you to listen, okay? We've known each other forever. And ever since I can remember, you have always been by my side. I've never, ever had to feel unprotected, ever. Do you remember when we snuck away to the pond that first time? And you caught that frog, and I had never seen a frog before, and it scared me, and I was running around screaming, and you calmed me down, and you told me what it was, and how important it was to the world. And I touched that frog because I trusted you, because you knew everything. You really do, Joe. You know everything. You're not one of those people that will pretend to know something. If you don't know it, you say you do. And that was something that was very important to me. And the first time that you held my hand when we were walking through the woods, and then just before we got to that clearing, and you turned to me and you said, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I said yes. I was so excited because I was so in love with you. And then you kissed me for the first time. Just a little peck on the lips, but it was magical. I don't think I'll ever, ever forget that. And I think at that point right there, I knew that we would always be together. We were soulmates. It's very hard to come by. But I knew it. I knew it then, and I knew I would never have to be afraid of anything ever again in my life. You would always be by my side. Well, then until you turned 16 and you were off doing your teenage stuff, and I was just a little girl that was hopelessly in love with you. It was almost embarrassing. Every day I'd see you less and less. And it was hard. It was a tough time, I guess, for both of us. But I missed you so much because you weren't only the person I loved. You were my best friend, really my only friend. Okay, well, I remember Christmas Eve when you were 17. Now, I'd never really told you this whole story and how this happened, but I had hardly seen you at all for a whole year, and it was devastating to me. And we spent every Christmas Eve together, ever, since I can remember. And this one, you had plans. I was so heartbroken and upset, I was crying behind the steps. And when I was behind there, Bobby and his hoods came by and they were having a meeting. And I heard everything. They didn't see me, but I heard everything. How they were going to go out and rob houses. And I was really taken back because you had really been spending a lot of time with them. And the thought occurred to me, are you going to do this too? What have you got yourself into? So I had to find out. So later on that day, I went and I approached Bobby. And I asked him, were you guys going to hang out tonight? Of course, he wouldn't tell me anything because, with Bobby, you never get something for nothing. But we were orphans. We didn't have any money. I couldn't pay him, but he didn't want money anyway. He wanted to see my boobs. And so I let him see my boobs. And then he refused to tell me. I was so mad that it was really me that gave him the black eye. And then I went straight to your room. And I stood outside of that door, and I knew that when I went in and said what I had to say, that one or two things are going to happen. One, you're going to be safe. Or two, I probably won't see you again. So I just took that deep breath and I stormed in your room. And we had that awful fight. And then when Bobby came knocking at the door, coming to get you, and you told me you were still going to go, I was so hurt and angry, I just kicked your ass. And you didn't go. And you stayed with me. And what happened after that? Well, Bobby and his hoods all went to jail. They got caught. And you and I spent the night together. And then everything about you, I just need you. That's all it is. I know you need me too. There's that part of you that just doesn't tell anything to anybody, but you talk to me. Until now. I haven't seen you in 6 months, Joe. Where have you been? What's going on? I don't even know what's going on with you. That's not like you. I know you better than anybody knows you. yet though I don't hear from you. Now, I know you're busy, but that's never stopped you before. So what's wrong? I'm worried. Talk to me. We promised each other that we would always tell each other the truth, no matter what. Without any judgment, ever. And we've always done that, except for 2 times. At Christmas Eve and today. Well, that's okay. You don't need to tell me right now, but just know that I'm here waiting to know. And I wish you would. Don't shake your head at me, Joe. I'm serious. I'm really worried that something's going on with you. You don't look right. You look like you haven't slept in months. All right, well, I'm here.
Excuse me, Mac. Would you like to have my seat?
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Hey, Travis.
Get some friends, loser.
Bro, you all right, man?
Lean on me
Thanks.
when you're not strong, and I'll be
Character. Pass it on.
I'll help you carry.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
May I walk you across the street?
Sure. Why not? Thanks.
You're welcome.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed.
Would it be okay if I sat here?
I am beautiful, no matter
Is she
what they
serious?
say.
Whatever. New girl.
I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. So don't you bring
Reaching
me
out.
down
Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Well, me and my lady had our first big fight, so
Stop.
I drove around till I saw the neon lights on the corner bar. Not a soul around but the old barkeep.
What can I get for you, man?
Better life than the one I got.
But he walked up, said, "Wasley,
Like that one.
I said the good stuff.
Hey, wasn't always a perfect picture, but there were some perfect parts.
'Cause it's the first long kiss on a second date. Dropping the ring in the spaghetti plate. 'Cause your hands are shaking so much. And it's the way that she looks with her rice in her hair. Eating bird suppers the whole first year. And asking for seconds to keep her from tearing up. Yeah, man, that's the good stuff.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
People ask the question, what's a rock and roller? And I tell them, we all like a bit of the good life. Some the money or the fame, but a real rock and roller wants the lot.
There's no school like the old school, and I'm their master. Right, Let me tell you how this works. You're going in to drink, and I'm going to have a cup of tea. I just hope for your sakes you can hold your breath for as long as it takes my kettle to boil. All right, see ya.
Times are changing. They ain't no respecters of the old school.
What's it going to cost me?
7 million euros.
Call the accountant. I need 7 million euros.
7 million.
What do you want?
You.
Dance?
You're a dancer.
Am I a dancer?
I've got some work. 7 million euros, and it won't be protected.
Is this a robbery? Yes, it is a robbery. Where's reverse?
You have to lift up the knob on the gear stick.
Oh, yeah. Troubled rock star Johnny Quid is
Missing, assumed dead.
Johnny?
If he's dead, that's the 3rd time this year.
I'm dead, Pete. Dead people don't like company.
Your boy ain't dead, is he?
Find him.
We got your boy. You might want to hose him down. He smells like a rotten goat.
I run this town.
And bring the troops.
Bring me a body. A blanket ship!
But you didn't realize that they had guns? With war criminals attached to the trigger?
You're what they call a real rock and roller.
Rock and roller?
Rock and roller.
Rock and roller.
You guys are gonna take care of him?
What do you think we are, gangsters?
Rock and roller.
Don't worry, he can't defend himself. He's got no head.
Thank you for watching Monologue. We'll see you next time.